we're here early. I think this is a Christmas miracle. Oh, I've just turned myself off mute, so hopefully you can hear me. Hi, Nessa. Hi, Francie. How are you, dear? How are we doing? Can I remove this yet, Craigie? Unplug it. For now.
No sound.
Oh, no sound. Still no sound?
Oh, good. There we go.
Oh, good. Now, there we go. It was just playing catch up. I'll plop that there for now. We've got Nessa and Pam and Amanda's here. Hello, hello. And Bronwyn as well. So nice to see all of you guys.
Super white.
It is super white, isn't it? Oh, the Bluebird there. Hey, Bluebird. Maybe we're a bit too white. Are we a bit overexposed tonight, Daddy?
Don't know. You never did my cards.
Oh, yeah. Let me go get some cards for you. Oh, it's a bit bright, Craigie. Sort it out. Craig complains because I have to take my lens off my camera so that I can take photos for Instagram and things. And then when I put this lens back on, all the settings have changed, and he's going, maybe we just need another camera. That's what we need. Hi from Craig, the mysterious Craig. One day they're going to see you.
See me every now and again.
They do. They see every now and again. That's true. Nessie says, long time no see. Yay. We see you again. Woo. All right. I think we're good for colour now. Buy another camera, says Nessa. There you go. Better get on that, Craig. Christmas present. Pam says, just looking for a Netflix movie to watch, and then you came on. Well, I'm glad that I came on time tonight then, because normally I'm rubbish. And do you remember last week? Totally lost my Gemini Junior plate. So it has 2 plates. No idea where one of them is. Realised it on my stream. This week I have hunted this craft room top to bottom and I cannot find it. I do not know what has happened with it. So I took the plunge and I bought a new one, and it was supposed to arrive today, and then today I went to check on it and it said arriving Tuesday. So no Gemini Junior for me tonight as well. Although Craig did say to me, why don't you just use one of the other manual die cut machines that you have in your craft room? I was like, yeah, I could, but they're all like tucked away. They're not within easy reach. All right, guys, I need some inspiration. I'm not sure what I want to make. I don't know what I want to make. I don't know what I want to create tonight. Craig said to do some Christmas cards. I have fully embraced Christmas now, so I am not opposed to making a Christmas card. Where's Ranger? I must be inside. Sounds like a colouring day then, says Amanda. Yeah, definitely. Tag suggests Jasmine. Oh, did you guys see that we had the tags of Christmas? 25 days of Christmas tags is an event that Tracy McNeely does every year. And we tend to participate in it. So the design team came up with these amazing tags. Actually, the tags, Amanda, I meant to message you because your tag was awesome. And also I need to tell you that I think the stamps have been shipped, but I think they did 50 instead of the 42. But I'll catch up with you later about that. Or probably on Monday, if not over the weekend. Move update, please. Okay, let's just get stamping, and then we'll get a move update on the go. I'm just gonna go for some coloured, grab some colours and stamp some mittens, and then we'll see how it goes. Move update. Well. Oy vey is all I can say right now. So last week we got our what is it called? So we had to have an updated home report dated within the last 3 months. That's what they required, and ours was over 3 months old because it's been going on a lot. It does come with dies. Look at these. Amazing. So someone came and did the report on Thursday, and then on Friday, let me try and stand this way a bit. On Friday, we got the updated home report and we sent it off. Boom. Monday came round and we called the old Halifax, called the bank and said, okay, we've got the home report. Did you get it? Did you get it? Did you get it? And they said, yes, we've got it. And I'm expecting that it'll go to the underwriters and you'll hear back within a few days. We were like, oh, a few days, that's good. So then Tuesday, Wednesday, nothing. Thursday, I was like super hopeful. I was like, right, this is going to be it. Wednesday, Thursday's going to be my day. Yeah. And I didn't hear anything. And then I was in a bit of a mood. You know, whenever you just get a bit like grumpy. And we were eating our dinner. And I was like, and Craig, I'm like, what's wrong? And I said, guys, I'm a bit sad because I was really hoping to hear from the bank today. And Craig went, oh, so the bank called. I was like, are you kidding me? So the guys from the bank called and said, just to let you know, your mortgage has been approved and the paperwork is on its way. You'll get them within the next day or two. We've sent them to both you and your solicitor. So we were like, yay! And then this morning we messaged our solicitor and said, right, mortgage is approved, get on with it. Let's keep going. And then we also messaged the buyers for this house and said, just say, no, we've got our mortgage approved. We now need to move simultaneously with you guys. What's the update on your end? So one day this week, Craig also had a phone call from our solicitor about selling this house. They had a question about some sort of drainage at the front of the house. All good. And we said, what's the status really? And they said that they're just going through all the different checks that they need to do. And the drainage question was in regards to the water check, which they said typically the water one comes back first. So the other ones will come back shortly. Okay, fine. I don't think I've ever used this sangria before. It looks more purple and it's much darker when you stamp it, unless it dries differently. It's an interesting colour though. It's like a maroon colour. I like it. I think that would actually be really nice to stamp a sentiment in that colour, which is good. So we messaged our buyers and said, this is where we're at. And we asked them if they had any idea on when they would want to move, or if they knew when the move would potentially happen. And they said that they hadn't been given any idea as yet as when the move would be, and asked if we had a date in mind. And then we contacted the movers, because when we contacted them a little while ago to say we weren't going to be moving on the 30th of November, they said, don't worry, like December's really quiet for us, so pretty much can do whenever suits you. So, okay, cool. So we phoned them today just to see if there was any dates that didn't suit them, and they said, oh, we're all booked up for December now. It'll be January before we can do anything. So I don't know. We have pretty much made our minds up, or resigned ourselves to the fact that we're probably not going to get to go anywhere, essentially, until at least after Christmas. Maybe that's between Christmas and New Year, I'm not sure. But we put up the Christmas decorations, or at least the most of them. We still have some more to do. We put up the tree. We still got, we put up the lights outside. We still got to put up the ones in the hallway and the dining room and things like that. Most of those are just lights that need to be done. That's a Craig job. Hey, Becky, rent a truck and I'll fly out and help move. I know. The thing is, it's because it's our house and all the hefty doodle things, it's going to be 3 what they call Luton vans. So it's not just like one thing. It's big. It's a big old move, and we're driving like 600 miles. So yeah. And also everything has to align. So there's let me use this in inks. There's us here, and we have to move into this house, and they have to move out. And then we've got people moving into our house, and then we have someone moving into their apartment. So whatever date that we decide upon has to suit absolutely everyone. So we thought the good news was that everyone, more or less, would be keen to move before Christmas. But if we just physically can't with the movers, then we can't. So that stinks. We'll see. It's kind of one of those, guess we'll go a day at a time. See what happens. All right. So I have used some of the little stamps in this set. So this is a Catherine Pooler stamp set, and this set is called Caroling Sentiments. It's really cool. It's a big old set. It's an 8x6, I think. And I've got my Sangria Party Dress Mint to Be and Rockin' Red. It looks really pretty, doesn't it? I think that looks awesome. So cool. Oh, that's messy as well. So let's see if we can add a sentiment to it. So let's grab some cardstock. So I'm thinking that the Hint of Mint cardstock is a similar color to the Mint to Be. So I'm navigating towards that at the moment. Hey, Amanda! Brahman says you're never gonna want to move house ever again. I know. And do you know what the funny thing is? Well, maybe it's not so funny. Oh, I might go for fa la 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 la. The plan was to move into this house and we would be there for about 5 years. Move into this house, renovate the loft, we'll be there for about 5 years or so, and then we would build a house from scratch exactly the way that we want it to be. But the more that we've literally been just waiting for 6 months, or it feels like it. Maybe 6 months is an exaggeration. Since August, September, October, November, December. Okay, so it's 5 months. Not really that much of an exaggeration, is it? So, hey ho. Marcy says hello from California. Hello, hello. All right, so we're gonna go with fa la 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 la. And I think we should go for gold. Gold! Go for gold, guys. Always go for gold. Always, oh, caught my wire. Always believe in. Okay, put that to the side. I'm gonna go for, cover this with my powder tool. Get rid of any little static. Jasmine says it looks pretty already, and that she's I've gone embossing mad this week and it's so much fun, she says. It really is. And Jasmine says I've pretty much made a card a day this week on my week off. Nice. Amanda and I have got plans to craft together next week. Yay! Do you know what I've been doing this week, which has been incredible? Drawing stamps. For so long, in September, it was the getting ready for the die cutting machine, the mini die cutting machine. And then in October we had our release, and then we had some issues with one of our products. A quality thing that I had to resolve before it was released. It was the foam, by the way. And I had to repackage everything, and I hurt my back. And I don't know if you've hurt your back before. I guess you guys will probably know that I've got a really dodgy back. I think I made a mistake putting this really near the hinge because it's not stamping so beautifully. So I'm giving it a good old massage. There we go. And because I've been in so much pain, I've not been able to sit for long, and I need to sit when I draw. I've tried alternatives. It doesn't work for me. Happy to receive suggestions if you have any. But I've also been, like, I guess, stuck. Not really had the inspiration. The whole house move has taken over everything of my brain power. Because first it was like looking for houses, and then it was arranging viewings, and then it was going and doing the viewings. And then whenever we found the house, I was like, yes, okay, maybe I'm inspired. And then it was, oh no, I need to tidy this house and get ready, put it on the market. So that was another thing. And then doing all the viewings for this. It's just been relentless. Not to mention COVID and all that jazz. So drawing was like the furthest thing from my mind, even whenever I had time. And Craig would say, why don't you go draw? And I was like, I just can't. Sad as it might be. And then this week I did try and draw things, and like whenever I was in that mood, I did try and draw things, but I would just like spend a week on one stump set and obsess about every single line. So this week I have gone like blush, 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 and got out like 4 new stamp sets this week. It's amazing. I can't wait. I'm so excited. So what's this? I think also we've got to the stage where we should be in the final furlong for the house. Fingers crossed. So I've convinced myself, right, if the stamps are all done and my products are all designed and I just need to get the samples and everything, then I can unpack the house. That will be my reward. All right, let's get my little embossing tool over. I'm going to put you guys on mute for a minute while I emboss this because it's noisy. It's so pretty, oh so pretty. Nessa says, we moved 3 times in 18 months. Ooh. So no more moving for us, been here 18 years now. Yay, so you've got it down. It would be easier if you do build your own place down the track and also not moving countries again, yeah. Well, we would have just built this time, but we didn't think it was, we just didn't think it would be feasible and realistic to, oh, I hope this is going to fit in my little die cutting machine. We didn't think it was going to be realistic to build a house in literally a different country and run my business and Craig run his business. Oh, it will, good. We thought, well, why don't we move there and then we can build in our own time. That's the plan anyway. Marcy says, I moved 3 times in 10 months. California to Oregon, Oregon to Pennsylvania, Pennsylvania back to California. It was a bad year. Wow. That is nuts. I bet you had a few extra grey hairs after that. If you're anything like me. We've moved lots before as well, actually. I used to do a lot of scrapbooking, and I made a little mini book about all the places I'd lived. And from, hold on till I concentrate. From 0 till 17, I was just in, well, yeah, I was in, technically I was in a house until I was 1.5 years, but I don't think I even counted that because I don't remember it. And then I was in the house I grew up. And then when I went to uni, it's like you have a year in halls, and then the next year somewhere else, and the next year somewhere else, and then I was in somewhere else for the summer, it became a bit wild. And at that point, I had 13 places that I had lived. And I was 27, 25, maybe 20, between 25 and 27. And given the fact that the first 17 years was just one house and the rest was a little bit nuts. But because I was a student, etc., like, you could fit everything you owned in. I owned in a car, whereas now it's completely different. And obviously we have the business here as well. So yeah. Fa la 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 la. Gonna get my foam tape out and stick this on. We actually just got a new delivery of foam tape. Everybody went mad, especially for the 5mm. So if you have been looking for some of the 5mm, we were previously all out, but now we're back in stock, thankfully. Francie said, oh, Nessa says, house move, Stam said. Maybe. Ooh, maybe. Francie says, this house move seems to be a bit of a roller coaster. It definitely has been. It's been a bit of a nightmare. Francie says, I can't think about anything else. I've been working hard. All right, Francie, I don't know if you have access to my Trello board. If so, you can have a look. The gold on mint is beautiful. Yeah, I think so. And I think that the colors work beautifully as well. Oh, I really want to give it a skinny frame. Stupid Gemini plate. I know that I'm going to find it whenever we move. It's going to really upset me. So annoying. Yeah. Isn't it so pretty? I'm going to add some other little golden accents. We also have got our alcohol marker friendly cardstock back in stock as well. Don't forget thumbs up for Lesley, says Nessa. Thank you. I appreciate that. Bronwyn says, when I was 3, my mum and dad bought the block next door and built a house. That was an easy move. Actually, remember I said that I was in a house till I was about a year and a half? We literally moved to the house next door. Like literally the house next door. But I have some memories of that house, but I can't really be sure if they're memories of being there or like memories of photos. Does that make sense? La 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 la. Guys, I have been in full Christmas carol mode this week. Christmas songing all the way. Awesome. Francie's stuck on release 7. We're on release 10. We'll have to add you to it. We'll catch up on Monday maybe. And you can help me out. All right. I think I'm going to round the corners of this. And call it done. And in fact, that sangria color has actually become a lot more purple now. Can you see? It was more of a burgundy color earlier. There you go. Bronwyn says, they still live there 40 years on. Wow, cool. Bronwyn says, I'm the same. I have some memories of the first house, but a lot come from photos and stories. Yeah, I remember that you had to walk through one bedroom to get to another bedroom, which is so bizarre and weird. But then ages later, when I was talking about it, my mum was saying that's because we put up a wall so that we could have separate rooms. And I was like, that makes more sense now. But when you're a child, you don't question these things. You don't go, that's weird. It just is what it is. You walk through one room to get to another room. It is what it is. All right. Let's see if we can get another card out of this. I quite like the Dreaming of a White Christmas. Oh no, I just stabbed myself. It's going to go ahead and remove these little vicious things before I impale myself once again. Oh, that's going to be a beast. All right. So let's do Dreaming of a White Christmas. And I wonder if we could, I'm gonna I really wanted to do it on an A4 panel and have like snow behind it. Gemini. Okay, I might have to pull out an old die cutting machine. Let's see. Because I'm thinking what I might do is use some Huckleberry cardstock. Like this. And maybe do some of the trees in the background. So the Huckleberry is a gorgeous navy blue color. And let's get some trees in the background maybe. And maybe some white. Let's see. We could have some, oh, actually, let's not do trees. Let's do the big old snowflakes. I think that would work. Yay. So we'll create snow on here. Oh, in fact, I wonder, I think I have a seafoam white, which is, okay, yeah, I want the seafoam white, which sort of puffs up, but before I do that, I want to cut. Do I need to cut it first of all? Yeah, I think I want to cut the hole using the die, like this. Can you see? So I'm going to need to just take a minute to dig out an old machine. So I know where it is. It's just going to take a minute to get at it. Ugh. wasn't as painful as I thought actually. So it is covered in dust, but that's okay. All right, let's run this through the big shot. Flip, 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 flip. Oh, Gemini, move over. You're no good when you lose your bits. There's lots of dust around here now. All right. So I have my little snowman. You could totally use that for a tag. And I'm going to stamp on this guy. All right, let me see if I can find that. I think it's called Sea Foam White. Is it? Yes, Sea Foam White. Also got, actually what also might be nice is like the clear holographic. But let's try the Sea Foam. I've not used it in 10 years or so. Hopefully it will still work. You'll see the powder more on this navy card compared to the white card. That's stamping much better now that I've moved it over. Roman says, my grandparents' house was the same. Had to walk through a bedroom to get to another bedroom, and even the bathroom to get to another room. Yeah, I think probably it was just back in the day what you had to do. Just put up a wall. Okay. So this, you might notice, is a bit more of a creamy color. In regards to the powder. Let's move it over a little bit. I also remember that my brother had a loose floorboard, and he would keep stuff like under the floorboard. I mean, in my memory, he was about 8, so it wasn't anything of any significance, but I distinctly remember that. So did anyone splurge and get themselves anything fun over Black Friday? we didn't really buy anything. I actually did buy one thing, but it wasn't even, it was just a, that looks useful, I think I'll buy it. It wasn't a, oh, I'll treat myself kind of situation. It was, you know, when you have like a bowl and you want to put it in the fridge, leftovers or whatever, and you put saran wrap on it or cling film. Well, there's these little silicone lids that stretch over your bowls, and there was like 12 of them in 6 different sizes. And I thought, that's quite useful and environmentally friendly. Certainly less wasteful than using all the plastic in the saran wrap. So I spent a whopping £5 on those. And then the other thing that I did, that I have done every year for the past, goodness knows how long, is take advantage of the Adobe Black Friday sale for using Photoshop, Illustrator, etc. So I was very pleased with myself that I managed to get the discounted rate. Especially because it is something that I use for work, so I'll get a lot of use out of it. Hey Flora. Flora says, I remember watching you years ago. Wow, and you had a pregnancy photo shoot, and I think you lived in Ireland then. So in my pregnancy photo shoot, that was Piper. I've only got one baby, so she's 9.5, so that would have been nearly 10 years ago. So thank you for watching me for 10 years. I'm sure I haven't aged a day. And I was actually living in England then. The pregnancy photo shoot was in Guildford. We've been here for 10 years. So I was pregnant when we moved in here. We moved in on the 8th of December, so it'll soon be 10 years here. 10 years next week. No, was it the 8th of December? Yeah, I think it was about the 8th of December that we moved in here, the 12th maybe it was. And I don't remember exactly when I had the photo shoot. It might have been in January, because I remember I was pretty pregnant. So it was probably January or February, I'm gonna guess. And then she was born in March. So, wow. Crazy. All right, I'm gonna mute you guys again because I'm going to emboss this little guy. All right. So, even though my embossing powder must be more than 10 years old, because that came from Glasgow, and I lived in Cambridge before I lived in Glasgow, between Glasgow and here, and it still works. It doesn't seem to puff up quite as much as what I remember it doing. However, what I can say, even though the embossing powder ages well and still works 10 plus years on, I will say that the nowadays a lot of the little granules in embossing powder are a lot finer, and because of that you can get better detail. So it has lost a little bit of its detail here, but nothing that I'm too worried about, to be honest. All right, so I'm going to be stamping this onto some acetate. I'm going to go ahead and cut a piece of acetate. Now, this is heat-resistant acetate, and we sell this in the Hippie Doodle store, or at least that's what my pouch says it is. There is every possibility that my acetates have been mixed up, which would kind of suck if they were, but hey ho, if they were. And I'm going to emboss this but with acetate you really do want to make sure that you are getting it covered in the powder. So I've tipped some out there, and see if I can find a soft brush somewhere. Oops. Oh, Flora says, "You are just the same, Lesley." Ah, thanks. I'm sure I've told you guys this before, but when I was pregnant with Piper, I had like blonde hair in a bob and glasses. And when Piper was, I think, probably about 2, I had LASIK on my eyes. So I had the surgery, so I didn't wear glasses anymore. And then not long after I had Piper, I grew my hair out really long, and it was just my natural brown colour. And there's a picture of me when Piper's just born, holding Piper with my blonde bob and my glasses. And a friend of ours had been round with her boyfriend we'd known them about 1.5 years, maybe 2 years or something. And he looked up and he said, "I keep meaning to ask, and I never do, is that your sister?" We all looked at him like, "That's me." And he was like, "That's you." He couldn't believe it. Oh, hope this is going to work first time because that pulled up quick. I'm going to use the bright white. Super fine. Oh, girl, you're super fine. And let's see if we can make this work. So pretty. Now, if I hadn't dusted that with the soft brush and a lot of powder, I can guarantee you it would not have come out that clean, because acetate and embossing powder love each other. They are obsessed with each other and they make a right on mess. As you can see, it's already on my misty. But that's cool, that's cool. All right, let's see. Now, I'm not going to worry too much. There's some little granules up here, but to be fair, you're not going to see that when it's behind my panel. So what I am going to do is take a piece of dark colored cardstock. I've got a brown here. Hopefully you can see that. And then we will melt this. And fingers crossed, it's heat resistant acetate. What a beauty. So if that hadn't been heat resistant acetate, it would have curled up. And believe me, I have had on many occasions heated something that should not have been heated up. All right. So time to grab a soft cloth. Give it a little buff. And then we're going to stick it on the back of this like a saw. Do you need to trim a tree a little bit? So who all has their Christmas trees up is what I want to know. Anyone? Haven't yet gotten any presents under the tree. But we do have our tree up. Bronwyn says, our tree is up now. Yay! Do you think it feels a bit festive around the house now? Hey, Marceline. All right. So I've added some tape, sticky tape to the front of this, actually, not the back of it, the front of it, because we're going to stick this behind our huckleberry. Marjolaine says, got my Happy Meal today. Yay! That's good. I know that, especially with Black Friday sales and things, sometimes things can take longer than we want it to. Okay, let's see if we can position this. that looks good. And there's still a lot of powder on the front here, so I'm actually maybe going to wipe it with. There we go. This little guy is sticking up and causing a problem, I think. Well, he's not causing a problem just yet, but I fear he will. So I'm going to grab an itty bitty glue dot. Stick him down. And this is using one of the very small glue dots from the store. Just to stick that down. So cute. And we're going to adhere this onto some card using the hefty little foam tape so that we can get some shakies behind there. So I have my 12mm wide, 3mm deep foam tape. And first of all, I'm going to go around the edge to get a nice outer edge, and this actually gives a lovely finish to your card. Makes it nice and sturdy. Now, if you wanted to, you could go in closer so that you make the area for the shaky stuff narrower, and that means that it will you'll have to use less of your shaker elements, because if you do the foam here, when it's lying down you'll see it, whereas at the moment it'll fall into this area here. But sometimes you might want that. Maybe you want it to be hidden until it's actually all shook up. Hey, Tally! Brahman says, I love it. If my husband had his way, our tree wouldn't go up until after our daughter's birthday on the 14th. But our daughter loves to put it up on the 1st of December. Oh. Is it me or does it sound really low volume? I had to put it on max. It shouldn't be any different from normal. Let me know what you think, because I don't think I've changed anything, unless this needs to be closer to my mouth, which could be possible. Try that and see what's going to happen. All right, so the question we shall have is if we're going to put a different color behind here, because Ice Blast might be nice. Let's see. Oh, I like that a lot. What do you guys think? I love it. All right. So for this, as long as it goes on the tape, it doesn't even have to go the whole way on the tape. Yeah, it really pops, doesn't it? I love my colored cardstock. So happy. So happy. All have someone watching on Twitch. Lesley Oman, hello and welcome. Okay, so we're going to stick this down here, but first of all, let me go and see if I can find some what I call shaky bits. Now, can you see here, there's actually a little bit of a gap there. And if you're using something like sequins, it's really not going to make a difference because no sequin is going to come out of that little section. However, if you're using something like sand, you might want to plug it up like so. And I'm not sure what I have, but I do know that I have a thing which is a bit like snow or like sugary crystals or something, and it's kind of pretty. So let's see, I'm probably just going to do a mishy-mashy. So this one here is what I'm thinking of, and it's from Honeybee Stamps. Now, I embossed on this side of the acetate, and that's what I covered with the powder. I haven't added powder to this side yet, but I am going to. Just because sequins do stick, but glitter sticks a lot. And I'm going to brush it along the edges of the tape as well, because sometimes a little sequin or something gets stuck just kind of underneath the tape in the adhesive edges. Completely normal behavior, but we just don't want that. So let's pull off the release paper. And thankfully the release paper on the Heavy Doodle foam tape is really easy to pull off. And then I'm going to add my snow. Now I'm also going to add some little seed beads. And I think somewhere I have tiny snowflakes, so bear with me while I see if I can hunt them out. I'm not sure if they're in here. Ooh, I don't think these are the snowflakes, but I do have white with some iridescent, so let's put that in too. Kind of gives a pinky sheen to it, which is pretty. And I'm going to have one more look for those snowflakes, because if they're not there, I think they might be in here. I could, of course, have used them all. Who knows? All right, I can't get them, don't have them to hand at the moment, so that's fine. So I'm going to just give this a slight jiggle, only enough so it flattens a little. And then we'll stick this right on top. And I'm going to give it a little massage on the areas where the foam tape is, just to make sure it gets a good seal. Like so. Marjolaine says it's on the TV and on my phone, both hardly audible. Does anyone else have a problem with the volume at the moment? If it's really bad, I can maybe ask Craig to come and change the sensitivity. All right. So I'm just going to go ahead and stick this straight onto a card blank, an A2 card. And now this area doesn't have any adhesive on it. There'll be some adhesive around the side, but let's just make sure it's not going to fall off. Nessa says it's okay, and Brahman says it's okay, so I'm going to, hopefully that means it's not everybody that's having the issues. All right, once again, give this a little massage-a-rooney. Can you see? It's really very subtle. I think it's beautiful. But I want to bring in some of those blue tones. So let me see if I can find some blues. Bluey type sequins. In fact, I have some here which are little blue. Let's get my friend Bluebird out and add some dots around the card. And I think that helps bring some of the blue to the card as well. I think that's pretty much done as well on that side. That's 2 cards done now. We're doing well. Let's see, what else can we make from this stamp set? Put my white Christmas back in. Francesca says, Bluebird is super cute. Thank you so much. Yes, I need to send them out to the design team. Little Bluebird. Night night, Francie. Bye. All right. So let's get I really like the idea of the trees. So I think I want to use them. Stamp some trees. The trees and the presents don't have dies, I discovered. So that's just something to be aware of. What should we do? We could put some trees on an aqua color, maybe. Let's cut this down. In fact, I think I'm going to cut it into a slimline size. And I'm going to just attempt to stamp these freehand across. I'm trying to think of which color to use. We could go tone on tone, or we could try, I don't think I've ever really tried lots of colors on like the darker colors before. I think I might try it. Here's party dress. Ooh. Kind of comes out a bit purpley, but I guess you would expect that, wouldn't you? And let's try Rockin' Red. I'm going to offset this one. So that each row is a little bit different. Gonna have pink fingers at the end of this. Now let's try Sangria. Ooh, it's so pretty. I'm not going to use the mint. I don't think it will show up. I think I'll stick to these three colours for now. Back to party dress. Kenrick and I are putting the sound on max and start calling it a nice cup of tea. Ooh, I'd love a cup of tea. Nom nom nom. Tonight Piper wrote a letter to Santa. So that I missed my tea because everyone was busy. Let's do another offset one. Oops. That one didn't. There we go. Definitely getting purple fingers. This would be really pretty wrapping paper. That was what? Pink and then red. And then purple. Ashley says, love this color combo for the trees. It's unusual, isn't it? But it's really pretty. All right, I am going to give this stump a little bit of loving now though, because it has had a lot of dye ink on it. So I'm going to take out my tonic stamp cleaner by Nuvo. And I've got side number 1 and side number 2. And number 1, I'm going to spray it with some stamp cleaning solution. I'm just going to go straight on there as well. And it will still have a stain on the stamp, I'm sure. But that's okay. Just trying to get as much off as I can. So this is the wet side, and then this is the dry side. So still stained pink, which is completely normal, especially when it comes to using red ink pads. But using something like the Ultra Clean or the Ranger Stamp Cleaning Spray will really help. Kenrick was hit by a car last Wednesday. Are you kidding? I was in complete shock all day and so happy that it's minor injury. His bike and coat are ruined, but that's all replacement. Oh, Kenrick. Oh my goodness, that's awful. I guess you were on your bike whenever the car hit you. I bet you must have been an absolute panic. Oh, it's like the worst thought in the world. So scary. I'm glad you're okay, Kenrick. Oops, I just managed to smudge that. That's okay though. All right, so what are we going to add to this? Should we do another fa la 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 la? I quite like the idea of doing another fa la la la. Let's get my Slimline Trios. Because I think this needs to be layered onto some white card to make it really pop. So what if we trimmed that down, put it on white card, and then added a la 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 to it. White stamped in maybe one of those colors. We're so happy we are stamping with you together tonight. Oh yeah, me too. Such a scary thought. Oh, this might be nice too. Let's do that one. So this is the Slimline pull tab. And I'm going to bring it over to my Sizzix Ooh, my scissors doesn't look like it's going to be long enough. Let's see. I might have to do 2 passes. Try not to lose these cutting mats. Oh no, it is long enough. All right, let's get my cardstock cut to the right size. Which for a slim line is 8.5 by 3.5. Or if you want to make it into a card, you need to double your 3.5, which makes it 7. 8.5 by 7. So you can't really see that if I put it on a piece of colored cardstock. You'll see a lot better. Like so. I think it looks really pretty. And then I think we're going to have another fa la la because I am obsessed with that. I think it looks so pretty. Really pretty. All right, so let's stick this down. First of all, after this weekend, oh look, we are still in Sinterklaas spirits. Tomorrow presents. Wow, that's awesome. I hope you get lots of fun things. After this weekend, we are taking out the Christmas stamps. Now we are stamping Sinterklaas. Yay! Yeah, I'm not a big Christmas card creator, but I do like playing with new stamps, and I hadn't really played with this very much, so I had to do that. All right, so I think I'm going to stamp this in the teal color and then stamp it again with some holographic embossing powder. That's what I think. Let's see if we can make that work. Do I want teal or do I want to use one of these colors? I might actually use the sangria. Let's see, what color did it? You do the pink, the red. Ooh, the red might be nice. I think I'm going to go for red. No. Beautiful. I love how these stamp so beautifully. Just going to give it a little clean, because otherwise I'm going to get ink on my embossing ink pad. In fact, I might just use one of my old ones. Not that I can find it, of course. We'll just give this another clean. I think I'm going to brave the outside next week, try and get some Christmas shopping done. Because it's looking less and less likely that we're going to be in Scotland for Christmas, I am now at the point where I'm thinking, oh my gosh, I need to get everything now. It was very much, oh, we'll just get that when we get to Scotland kind of situation. And now, yeah, no, it's not going to happen, is it? All right. So let's give this another little dust with the embossing powder. Here he comes. Hello, Ranger. Come on in then. Nessa will be glad to see ya. Need to lift the pattern paper off his chair now. I have one chair that spins and one chair that doesn't. And the chair that doesn't, I prefer it. But he prefers it too. So, which one are you going to go on? You going to jump up? There we go. Good boy. Technically, I had one chair in here. But then he would go to the door and like paw at the door to get out, and then I would get up, go over to the door and open it, and he would run back and jump onto my seat. Clever. So I had to get Craig to bring out a different seat, so we had two seats out here. Craig calls it my sidecar. Because I'll be working here and then Ranger will be on the chair right beside me. So pretty. I think I must have caught Jasmine's embossing bug. I've been doing a lot of embossing tonight. Little chair thief, I know. Right, before I start up the heat gun, I am going to take off my jumper because I'm getting hot. So I'll mute you now before I do all that jazz. Fa la 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 la. Ranger is a smart cookie. Yes, he is. He's also very sleepy doggo. He's cheeky. He knows. He knows. all the things to do to get his own way. Bronwyn says, I miss having a dog. We said goodbye to our dog in October. Oh, I'm so sorry. It's the hardest thing. Really makes a big difference to your lives, I think. We had a dog, we didn't have a dog for so long, and then I always knew that we needed a dog. And nowadays, very often, Craig and I will both go, do you remember when we didn't have a dog? Yeah. Crazy. Do you remember? Crazy. Okay, so I'm going to add some white detail to these trees. Not all of them. But some of them to help bring some more white to this panel, although I will say this pen looks like it's picking up a lot of the color underneath. I might need to do 2 layers like here. And this is also a good way to cover any sins if we have any of the trees that perhaps didn't stamp perfectly. Grumble, grumble. It's definitely gone pinkish where the ink is, where the ink has dyed the area underneath. And I'm adding a couple of dots. And little tiny circles to the background as well. Just for fun. He was almost 14. Oh wow. He certainly lived his best life with us. Kaiser was the best boy. Rest in peace, little Kaiser. All right, this is looking beautiful. Now, I will say that I've used some leftover cardstock for that. And it's not the sturdiest, so I'm going to go ahead and cut another one. Just from plain white card. and adhere them together just to make it a little bit sturdier. Use some glue to stick it together. This is so sparkly. Can you see it? So pretty. It looks awesome. So awesome. Okay, let's stick that down with some foam. Oh. Loving it. And I wonder if we should add a tag to the bottom. I actually kind of want a sentiment here. I wonder if I've got any sentiments that would fit nicely there. I'll have to have a mooch through some of my stamp sets. Brahman says, I just got some of that holographic embossing powder. It's so beautiful. It really is. It's a good investment. You can do so much with it, actually. Pop Mr. Snowman in there as well. He might live another day in another project. Right, what stamp sets do I have that are Christmassy? Not a lot, because I don't buy a lot of Christmassy. But I will have some. Oh, actually, I got these ones with Catherine sent these ones as well. Candy cane wishes, or may your season be sweet, or wishing you a holiday full of delight, or wrapped with love. I don't know, which one do you think? We could add some of the little candies and have the May Your Season Be Sweet. What do you think? What should we go for? I don't know whether it'll be too much if we go for that. Does this have dies? It does have dies. I don't think we can do candy cane wishes. We don't have a candy cane on it. May your season be sweet, wrapped with love. And then I think that one's a little bit too long. So maybe wrapped with love. It looks like wrapping paper. I think it's sweet, but it's not going to fit on that, sadly. But I'm sure we'll find something to put it on. Let me see. I'm just having a little hunt through my stash here. I have these scalloped ones, but I think they might be a little bit too big, those ones. And the next one's too small. I'll keep looking. Ooh. I feel like I might just go for a plain old square, to be honest. Or a rectangle, I mean. I do have a die here which would work. Wrap with love. Let's give it a go. Maybe we can add some twine to it. Give it a bit more of a wrapped up feeling. Just thinking whether I want to do white on a colour. I'll go for this first of all and see what it looks like, because I might change my mind. I think what I'll do is I'll take some pink cardstock and I'll use Heffy Doodle Razzleberry, which is very close to the party dress color. And I'll layer it on top to bring that other color to the foreground. Marcy says, I love reds, pinks and turquoises together. When I was growing up, I was always told red and pink never go together. My sister was like the biggest one that would ridicule me if ever there was red and pink together. And I remember being an adult and I was at a fabric store and I picked up a fabric and it had like a stripe of red and a stripe of pink and then some white. And I was like, this is beautiful. Why do people say that pink and red don't go together? And I remember thinking, Lindsay, you're an idiot. And I bought it. And I made a top from it. So I actually really enjoy red and pink together as well. I also really enjoy pink and like a light blue for holiday colors. I think it's pretty. A bit more non-traditional, but delightful. Settle down, Ranger. You can't just come in here and then decide you want to leave like 2 minutes later. So we could wrap it, but I think that's going to take away from the design. I think it would look better if I had hadn't stuck down the other. They scalloped onto the white. Trying to tie a bow without making too much of a mess. What do you think? Should we go straight or should we go at an angle? Or maybe we leave it off. I don't know. I cannot decide. What do you guys think? Do a bit of tidying up while I'm waiting for your comments to come through. We had to move a lot of boxes from our living room to accommodate the tree, and now my craft room is just full of boxes. It's quite sad, really. I can hardly get by. At an angle. There we go. All right, now let me have a look. We have a purple color called Wild Berry. It might be too pink, I'm not sure. But it might work. Actually, this one looks quite nice, I think. This was the Wild Berry that I was thinking of. So that might work nice too as a card base. I think the Wild Berry would be adorable. So let's chop that down. To 7 inches. And then we'll crease it over. Yes, angle. That doesn't look like it. Guess it is. And Bronwyn says at an angle as well, so we'll go for that. Hi, Mona. So I'm going to stick this down. I'm actually super regretting sticking this onto here. Maybe I'll see if I can trim it without causing too much damage. Even if it's just a little bit, so we see a tiny bit of that purple coming through. I think that would be cute. And make it pop a little as well. All right, that'll work. Yeah. Oh, I think that makes it, don't you? Just a minute, please, Ranger. I think that makes a massive difference. You can see that really makes the purple tones pop. I think it looks really cool. It's going to add, settle down for a minute, please, Ranger. I'm going to add a few little like white pearlies on it, I think. Ooh, or some these sparkly ones look nice. Once again, strategically placed over some of the trees that didn't stamp quite as cleanly. Is always a good way to hide your sins. Hey, Scrapbina. How are ya? All right, let's add a few more of these little gems. I love the way they just add a bit more sparkle to the card as well. I'm good. Are you still in the UK? Yes, I'm still in England. Not yet in Scotland. Should be, but hey ho. Right, my dear friends. That's 3 cards done. First, the full pattern paper background using stamps and the gorgeous gold embossed fa la 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 la. Then we use the seafoam white embossing powder to get a nice puffiness there, and the huckleberry cardstock on top, the ice blue on the back, and then it's kind of hard to see. But lots of sparkly goodness, sequins and sort of snowflakey things in there. It's really cool. And then we have a fa la 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 la, and we used the tree stamp on the Simply Tealicious cardstock and the Catherine Pooler inks. There we go. Right guys, I am going to head off to bed and leave that there because my back is still a bit peaky. Starting to go. Too much drawing this week. But that's a good thing, because that means we've got a new release on the agenda. Thank you for all your excitement. I'm excited too. I hope you had fun watching me make some Christmas cards. I'll have to take some photos and send them over to Catherine. Have a great weekend, and I shall see you next week. And for once, my craft desk is not in complete and utter disarray. I mean, it's not It's not tidy. I'm doing a pretty good job of fooling you that it's tidy based on what's on screen. But it's not as bad as it normally is, which hopefully means I might actually get to do a bit more product design tomorrow as well. Fingers crossed. Have a great weekend, you guys. Bye, Marjolaine and Kenrick. Kenrick, look after yourself, darling. Have a great one.